Thank you very much. I was checking until last minute if the translation is correct. Actually, congratulations to all the translation ladies. They're doing an excellent job here. So, good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone's still awake. Not because of the fact that we don't have fascinating speaker panel, but I really want something tangible to tell to you this early afternoon. I'm going to repeat a couple of the stuff which has been mentioned today. But I try to be as concrete as possible, so actually you have something to take home. Whether or not you are running a grocery store just in the corner, or you're running a large company, I promise I will tell you something, how to make better people-related decisions. And just to start with that, small promotion, we have a downloadable book, which title is CEO's Guide to HR Management. It's on our website and it's for free, so I think it's appropriate to talk about it and mention that all suggestions from our end, recruitment and development or leadership development is in the book itself. Actually, in the morning we have heard about a person or a company or some methodology, some mysterious people who actually can predict the future and coming up with models then how people are going to actually behave in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, that's us. That's Assessment Systems International, which is one of the largest HR consultancy business here in the region. In the last 15 years, it's 60 people, over 9 million euro turnover we have, and the offices in 10 countries here. And we're strictly there to help leaders to make better people-related decisions. I'm going to also come up to some cliches, let's say, very quickly, and I will jump on the conclusions. On this slide, I think it's quite important that we're not only talking about it, we're doing it. We have assessed more than 200,000 leaders here in the region with all different tools which we are using in Central and Eastern Europe and a little bit further. Okay, this is my first cliche slide. But I think it's important to say that besides all the elements with the lovely speakers already mentioned, there's also another important thing which makes change relevant, and we use the word change so many times, but I think this is the time of the lifetime of the humankind when change actually makes sense to talk about. If you open up a management book 30 years ago, very likely everyone's talking about change, but this is the time when it's so accelerated that actually it's impacting on our life every day. This is a chart which focusing on the lifespan of average companies in S&P, which means that if you look carefully, in 2015, the average age of a company in the S&P 500 is going to be 15 years, which means that some of the companies are going to be the largest, not even existing yet. Not even talking about the fact that the most appropriate answer from a kid you would ask today about what are you going to be when you grow up, very likely the best answer is that I don't know, because that job is not invented yet. Another factor is that we have more and more non-routine cognitive jobs there. So actually people are the real asset of the company, not just as a bullshit phrase, but a real phrase, because having the bright people on the bus making your business successful or not successful. We have another thing where we're focusing a lot on generation Y and Z and so on and so forth. I think this is getting important because this is the first time when actually we care about this. Who cared about the generational differences between baby boomers and Generation X? I don't remember. We didn't care. Today we have data which actually helps us again to characterize them and make sure that actually these are the three factors which mostly moving the Generation Y people. Also at the same time, especially multinationals are struggling to compete with startups because they're offering something different to the people. More and more youngsters, thanks God, are joining the startups, are opening up startups because these are the motivational factor differences between startup and a multinational. So okay, you know all these, very likely. Very likely it's nothing new to you. You are a very well-educated crowd and I really applaud you for that, and you heard many things about it. But what can you do if you know all these? Actually, one of the lessons is obviously that leaders are not always making good decisions. We can make bad decisions, that's okay. Actually, 50% of our decisions are bad, statistically, so on the other half is good. So what you can do actually is to realize when you made a bad decision and then you can correct it. We have a lot of tools these days and we can turn to big data. And obviously, if you are in a small company, you can also turn to small data. Nothing stops you from that. Our matrix, what we suggest to look at, is actually threefold. To look at reputation of people, which can be measured by 360-degree feedback, or even in a small company with just a small questionnaire, how people see each other in different positions. Also, we can measure potential with different personality tests, cognitive tests, or some other methods, which are cheaply and almost freely available these days. And another pillar we also look into is the exec performance of people within the company, which can be measured by key performance or indicators, or even just simple things like if the guy went on vacation or not, or there wasn't any effect on his performance when you increase the salary. And even, again, if you are just a grocery store owner in the corner, you can still collect this data and you can still base your decision upon this, and you can create a lovely matrix about it, and then actually this easily categorize your people. And obviously there's much more to this, which I'm going to talk about in just 1 hour in a workshop. So if you're interested to get to know more, come and watch that. So with this, you can model many things within your company: turnover, retention, and all those things, which could be very, very important, because you can stop the computer taking over. But Jan Donner, one of the famous chess players, said that the only way is actually to fight a computer is to bringing a hammer. So let's just live with it, that this is going to be the way to work with it. So disruption in our business, and this is getting actually the most interesting part here, and this common phrase I just completed with the last line here. But actually what is happening in our industry, where we predicting future behavior of people, is really working with different gamification possibilities, video interviewing, which are already having face recognition inside. So actually people doesn't even know that they are filling out a personality test, and they're already doing it. Same thing with voice recognition. We are already doing all these analyses. And obviously social media brings a lot of influence in this. I mean, when you tweet and when you use Facebook, your words are actually correlated with the so-called Big Five theory of personality prediction. And once you can do this, then it's very easy, actually, only one step away to actually show who are you. This is a site called You Are What You Like. You can try it yourself. You can see my profile did, or there is a company called 5 Labs doing the same thing, or an associate of mine from Stanford University using a site called Apply Magic Sauce, which also helps you to actually map up everyone who has already a social media profile. There is certain danger to it, because when they published this website on CNN, they used 5 million people to make this study available, and they come up with the fact that higher intelligent people like curly fries better. And actually, the next day, everyone started to like curly fries. But so there are some things to it which need to do better. We're also doing studies on LinkedIn. So actually, we already can predict employees' fit and also personality based on their LinkedIn profile. And just one example for the company who is actually predicting already when somebody is changing your job is a company called Entelo. So actually, these days, all these tools are available. You can use the matrix already to make your better people-related decisions, even you hire or you fire or you develop someone. And you can already start to put a team together, partner with IT. Even if you just have a small accounting software, you can already use some data where you can really make what you can use for doing better people-related decisions. So not really a crystal ball, but data analysis which we already have today. And actually, it's just a little bit more skilling which needed from your end. And obviously, we will be happy to help even in that. Download the book, enjoy, and see you in the afternoon in the workshop if you would like to hear more. And I think I kept even my time. Thank you. Bye-bye.